There you go. So it's just up in there.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. So my name is Thomas Lockhart from Disney in France, and we are pleased to present you in connection with Philippe Lemoine, with the head of the Grand Port Maritime in the French Guyana on the edge of the Caribbean area. And we conducted together a pre-feasibility study of a multi-use offshore platform, and Maribe accepted to assess the financial and economical results of our feasibility study, and we are pleased to present you some of the results, and furthermore to thank Maribe for the support they provide us in achieving those results. Philippe, do you think anything?
Well, just to say that last time we had the opportunity to present the project in Brussels, but last time we had the opportunity to present the project in Brussels, and from this date, since this date, we had studied in more detail some economical aspects, and we can say that today we have a real feasibility study. So, Thomas?
And from what Pedro said regarding Tropos, because I was involved as general architect in Tropos late in the project, the main advantage I saw being involved in this FP7 project was to realize the gap you have between all those people working in so different activities. And when you wish to put together people working in renewable energy, in aquaculture, in shipping, or anything else, the first things you need is to develop a common vocabulary. And for Tropos, it took at least 2 years to do it. So we were running out of time to complete the study. So that is essential. We have a huge cultural difficulty to put together people that have never been used to cooperate. So that's something just to say we are part of, but you know it. That's the plan I will try to follow quickly. And just to highlight two challenges for the French Guyana. For the moment, they have a big limitation, 7 meters maximum trout, and the new ships are coming with 12 meters. Tomorrow it will be 15 at least if we go for comment on dit les transports de minéraux, les transports minéraux, les gros bateaux.
Break bulk?
Ouais. If we go for bulk carrier, it's more than 20 meters. So there is something that must change, and we can't achieve anything onshore. So that's the main and initial reason of the connection between DCNS and Grand Port Maritime. The second is that because of an important demographic growth in the French Guyana, there are around 250,000 people right now, expected to double in 15 years' time. It's a bigger department of France with more than 80,000 square kilometers. So it's a big area. They need to develop their economy, and they have the chance to be close to one of the most valuable place either for energy, renewable energy, and aquaculture, maybe oil and gas. So that's the reason why we decided to conduct this project, and we are not like Ireland in a rather favorable environmental condition. the average wave is below 80 centimeters. So it's easier. And as a technology company, we wanted to begin with rather benign conditions before moving to more difficult ones. So you know that I can skip quickly just to explain that you have the commission of activities on the left side regarding flow to transport, and the other one production and transformation offshore. So we, in the hypothesis, we said we wanted to host the new Panamax, and they are quite big ships, up to 13,000 boxes, to provide to this area feedering system with barge, and that is uncommon in France, so we have to learn about that, and to diminish times and cost for shipping and oil and gas companies. That's the first aim. The second one is, with this offshore platform, we will transform radically about 800 square kilometers around the platform to open new activity just like aquaculture. And this is, in France, a cultural revolution to accept, to consider that we can develop an industrial aquaculture in our overseas territories. For the moment, people were quite reluctant, considering it was not possible. So the first result have been endorsed by the local authorities. So we have the support of them, and they wished us to go on. We are there in the interregional integration process from Brazil to Suriname to Guyana. It represents more than 3% of this department GDP. It's a huge increase, and more than 10% of total employment. So it's just like Ariane, which is also based in French Guiana. Ariane is three times bigger than this project, but it's the same level of importance. So Ariane is about 25% of total employment in Guyana. It's $1 billion plus, from 1.1 billion to 1.6 billion, depending on the size of the platform, step 1, step 2. And the threshold is 150 million euros per year. And the studies show it's achievable. That means, and it's one step further from Tropos, we have shown on the economic side, it's worth going on the studies on the technical and environmental and law aspects of the subject. And we believe, because it's an infrastructure project, that it has enough sense to build the funding 75% from public money and 25% from private investment. The private investment will come mainly from companies that will have interest to operate from the platform. I mean, shipping companies, aquaculture companies, and oil and gas companies. And as they will invest to enhance or to develop the installation on board the platform, they will reduce their cost. So it is in their interest to have a properly fitted platform there. The impact of working with Maribe. So we have an initial business plan at European standard, because at the beginning it was in France, it was in French, right? And it's more difficult to push a French document in Brussels. The second, we showed that the public money could be reimbursed with an acceptable return rate. Because for public money today, 2% is more than what they are used to, and 8% for private money in a long-term process, around more than 20 years. It's something that become of consideration in this economic turmoil we are facing today. So it is not fantastic, I agree, but we are an infrastructure project, and it's good enough to go on. And for us, it was essential. The work is a bit less than 5%, and the payback is around 20 years. So it's low and long. Sure, it is not miraculous, but in our approach and within the French administrative culture is over the threshold to go. And that we wanted to show, and we thanks Maribe for that. The benefit. So even if many weaknesses have been highlighted in the project, but we are right at the beginning of a 10 years one, we have the feeling that there is general support for that to go on the studies. And we thanks for a good connection both to the EU, mainly through the GMRIT, and that's their job, and with the FAO, and we will ask FAO to help us explaining in the French Guyana why we can rely on aquaculture offshore to develop this country. And the cultural approach of aquaculture in France is so reluctant that we need an external vision just to explain us that it's something worth developing. In the future, so the French National Maritime Strategy document is currently under the writing process. The first draft has been pushed toward the internet for all the French citizens to present their view, remark, and amendment. It should be signed by the end of this year, and our project has been integrated in. That means that we manage, with the first result provided from Maribe, to seize the interest of the French authorities in order for them to accept, to integrate it in this document. And that would be the first step. I don't know if it's the case in the other capital in Europe, but in France, if you have a big project without any insight within all those strategic documents, you lose the day. So it was essential for us to be there. We have the intention to create a university foundation, which is something that might be, I don't know, I have not yet studied it, might be typically French, but I'm not sure. It's a legal body that allows public and private people to conduct together research. And the main reason why we come here this morning, after saying thank you to Maribe, is to offer you to cooperate with us through this foundation, university foundation, just to go on. And the reason for that is that we believe this kind of project might have other applications than French Guyana. And the cooperation with FAO and IFREMER, we mentioned that earlier. So you are welcome to integrate those two developments if you wish. Most welcome. The contact, you have it, so do not hesitate to send us mail. You will receive a warm, full welcome, and I leave to Philippe the conclusion.
Thank you, Thomas. We can say that now we are confident in the feasibility of this project, but of course it will take time. It's not an easy project, a huge one, 1 billion investment, and a lot of partners, a lot of activities. Thanks to Maribe, we know now that initially we have underestimated the part of aquaculture. So this is big point for us, because it means that we can increase the profit and
the sustainability.
Yes, the sustainability, right, of this project. So the idea to create a foundation, it's for us the possibility to gather a lot of expertise, because as I said, it's not a simple project. You have a legal aspect, you have a technical aspect, and many technical aspects, environmental and so on. So for us, it's a good idea to gather a lot of expertise. For example, even for the construction of this kind of project, we suppose that it will be necessary to gather several infrastructure companies. So it's a possibility for them to be aware of the project and to participate in the finalization of the study. So thank you, Maribe, because for us, as Thomas said, it was very important to go fast and to be able to present a business plan today and to be, let's say, more comfortable in the idea that this project is feasible. Please, we have forgotten maybe to present Rémi, the director of the development direction in the Grand Port Maritime. He wasn't present at the last session in Brussels. So, thank you.
Running short, I do have one question. The value proposition for your project in French Guiana is perfect. French Guiana needs an offshore port because the ports are too shallow, and you need to stimulate the aquaculture industry. So it's perfect. It's huge drivers to make this happen. But you're going to be developing some unique IP in the floating terminal and your business model. Where else in the world could you deploy your next floating terminal? Is there a plan for this? And does the French government in infrastructure projects want to roll this out in any other of its French dominions, or what's DCNS's plan for the future?
I don't know if DCNS has any plan on that for the moment. We are betting, and it is a technological bet, that we can generate a consortium able to build and install modular structure at sea. That's something that has never been developed, a floating one, because you have several other gravity foundation system, but a modular floating system does not yet exist at that size. The reason why we wish to have a big size is just to be better in front of big waves. And that's the unique point for us. And to host big ships, because if you look at the container carriers, they are quite big. So the challenge is there. With Philip, we decided that it was easier and more realistic to begin in benign conditions without any process. And I think that when we will be more confident on the robustness of the connection between the modules, then we will begin to think to other things. I could tell you Gulf of Guinea, and we have contact with the oil and gas company there. I could tell you French Polynesia. But right at this stage, it's more a wishful thinking than anything else. For the moment, we are in a long process with an interesting but challenging technological bet, and it's wiser just to focus on that. And if it works, then we will come back and say, guys, we might offer you other options to your needs.
Time for one question.
Does that location ever get hurricanes?
No.
No.
No, that's why we're there.
Yeah.
We are 300 nautical miles, 1,000 of the 1,000 part of so yeah.
It's the Goldilocks zone for deployments for big infrastructures and for aquaculture.
But thank you. If
Okay, thanks very much. Next, we're going to have another exciting floating shipping terminal concept. Instead of sharing with aquaculture this time,